What's up, my LS Crazy Amigos? Your boy Terry, speaking from the garage shop once again. Here to offer you some more here to answer some questions. That's right. With 2017 out and 2018 on its way in, I figured what way to start off the new year with videos than to answer some of the most common asked questions that I get, through social media. So we're going to call this the Garage Shop Social Media Common Asked Questions 2017. That's right. So we're going to do something a little different. Okay, I'm going to ask myself questions. We're going to have Terry, the question asker, compared to Terry, the question answerer. So we got a series of questions that are common asked through Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. So here we go. Let's get some of these answers to some of the most common asked questions that I always get. And I love them. Keep them coming because some of you guys are characters and you crack me up. So we're going to ask some of these questions. Here we go. So Terry, do you prefer superchargers over turbos? Supercharger or turbo? I prefer a supercharger. A few reasons. Supercharger is a cleaner look, and I like a set and forget it. Now don't get me wrong. If I was racing a car, if I was building the car just strictly for street racing, I would have twin turbos because of the tunability. But I'm also a little, turned off on turbo because of that. Oh God, that cheesy Nissan commercial back in the day. There was a Datsun commercial back in the day. So Terry, tell me, why is there no bumper in your car? I have the original bumper from '71 Chevelle, and it's not rough, but it doesn't look great. So I don't rock a bumper because depending on what color I paint the car, I determine if I'm going to buy a new bumper or if I'm going to paint the bumper the color of the car. If I keep this car white, I'm going to go and buy a new chrome bumper and end it. But if I paint it another color, depending on which color it is, I like the look of painted bumpers, so I can pull that bumper out because it's not pitted and it's not, like the chrome is not peeling, so it's a good enough bumper for me to paint and use. That's why there's no bumper on my car at this point. Where's the '69 Camaro? We haven't seen it in a while. What's up? Yes, I still have my '69 Camaro. I got a couple projects going on, so I'm going to get back to it. I drive it every now and then. I love that car. It's got an LS2 straight out of a GTO transmission. I built that car in 2006, 2007. Yes. So I'm planning on doing a whole redo on that car, with the LSA. I'm gonna tub it out, mini tub, and I'm gonna put a 4-link suspension in it. And I already put some pretty good components in the front and sway bars and stuff. So it's just a matter of just doing that, and the car's pretty much set. I love that car. That's the car. I gotta ask this question. I gotta ask this. What's up with the copper on the front of your car? What's up with that? The color in the front of my car is a GTO color called Brazen Orange. When I first got the car, it was white, and I did not want to keep this car white with black stripes. I wanted to have something unique, something different, so I was going to paint it Brazen Orange. And being I had the car apart, I figured what better time than to jab the car. So that's why you see part of the car when you open the door, it's Brazen Orange. But now I'm starting to have second thoughts. I'm starting to like this white. So I'm thinking about, I don't know, taking it apart and painting it again, whatever, such and such, when I do get to the point where I want to paint it. And so I don't know, I'm up in the air of what color I'm going to paint the car. If I do keep it white, then I have to take it apart and re-jab it, which is cool. And but like I said, I want something a little different, so chances are it's not going to be white. And that is the reason why when you open the door, open the trunk, you see Brazen Orange, the GTO 06 color, and that was the color I was going to go with. And the color still may go with, still up in the air. What is your favorite cars? Top 5. Wow. My favorite car, it's hard to say. You got to go to categories. I can't just name top 5. Wow. '69 Camaro. That is probably that's my favorite car, when it comes to Camaros. Even though I had over 40 late second gen Camaros, and I'm very comfortable in that car. If I was to build a race car, it would be like a 78 on 81 Z28 or Trans Am, because I'm just comfortable in that car. I had like maybe 40 or 50 of those cars. Nah, I'm probably about 40 of those cars, off and on throughout my life. And a Chevelle. Chevelles go. I love Chevelles. First gen would be a '67 that I'm building right now. Second gen, 69 and 71. Those are my 3 favorite Chevelles. And I know people are like, oh, what about the 70s? 70 is a beautiful car. 70 is a beautiful car, but I like the single headlights. I like the pods in the back, tail lights. I just think this is one of the most beautiful cars. And when you look at the front end of the car, it looks like a little baby. Same with the 69. It looks like a little baby looking at you. And it's just a beautiful, beautiful car. Okay, were you Hot Wheels or Matchbox? I want to know right now, which cars did you like, the Hot Wheels or the Matchbox? I was a big Hot Wheels guy. Now, I had a serious collection. That didn't mean Matchbox didn't get into the fray, but I loved Hot Wheels. Matter of fact, I dug up one of my old Hot Wheels back in the day, and I'm holding on to this one. This is my little baby, you know. So I was a Hot Wheels guy, and I graduated to Sizzlers and then to AFX Tyco Pro. And if you don't know what an AFX Tyco or either Sizzlers race car is, Google it. Google it. Time for you to go to school and learn something, because those were the times, and that was what we did. Are you just strictly GM, or do you like other cars? I mean, no, not at all. Although I will admit, the General, GM, Chevrolet, that is my brand. That's a car that's my car. But I can see the beauty of outside what a car is to what it could be. I like that. So a 69 Mustang, how can you not say that car's not beautiful? Some of the Mopars, a Cuda, 71 Cuda, how could you say that car's not beautiful? Superbird, GSX, a Daytona, how could you say these cars are not beautiful? And I feel most people, a lot of people anyways, they're closed-minded. They pledge their allegiance to a car company, and that's it. They don't open their mind to what could be. Lincoln Mark 8, even an older car, that is a beautiful car. Matter of fact, I still have my Lincoln Mark 8 from when I was in college. You know, it's just a beautiful car. And I think, you know, you got to look outside the norm, and you got to be truthful with yourself. I mean, you can't just be like, okay, fine, I'm the Chevy guy, that's it, such and such. If a 69 Mustang came my way, I'd take it. You know, and I should add that a 70 Mustang is also just as beautiful as a 69, but I prefer a 69 because of the little things in the back window, All right, who were some of your influences that got you into this car building game? My parents, no doubt, they've always been supportive. My Uncle Junior, all of my family members, that goes without saying. But outside of my family, some of my biggest influences, one of my good buddies who I talk with every now and then, you know, Kevin Tetz. He was a host of Trucks TV on Power Block, and he also does Paintucation. Knowledgeable guy, in tune cat. I talk to him. I love talking with him because he's deep. All right. I want to give a big shout out to all those guys from Power Block, because it wasn't for them, you know, like giving you the encouragement. I mean, like every week you would see Kevin Tetz, you would see Kevin Bacon, you would see Tim Strange, you would see I mean, even Chuck, and you would see all these cats talk about, you can do it, get in your garage and do it. And next thing you know, you're getting charged up and you find yourself at Home Depot buying a welder, you know. So I want to give a big shout out to all those guys from the Power Block back in the early 90s, because it wasn't for them, you know, who knows where I would be as far as like with my skills as far as doing these cars, because they help you build your dream, and that's what it's all about, building your dream. So they would have to be some of the biggest influences as far as me getting in the garage and actually starting it, because I always had, you know, like always fooled around with cars, even in high school, tinkered around with cars. But then, you know, once, you know, Power Block came out, I was just like, wow, I got to do this. Then you get a welder and you start welding, you know. So I want to give a bigger shout out to them. So those guys would probably be some of my biggest influences when it comes to, you know, like putting a car together and making your dreams happen. And as far as motor-wise, Mark Campbell. He was the man who, he would have to be the biggest influence, because he was the man who, you would call this man on a Sunday and he would pick the phone up. And he took my hand. For some reason, I would talk to him because, like, I started out with tune ports and he helped me out. And then I got into LS's, and he took my hand and showed me how to do this. And he would say, if you want more power this way, you would do this. And he was a good man that way. And I miss him dearly. And he opened his doors, said, Terry, whenever you're ready, come on down. He was in Arkansas. Come on down, and I'll teach you everything you need to know about LS installs with turbos, superchargers, whatever. And I was going to take him up on it. And by the time I got my ducks in a row so I can come down there and take him up on it, I learned, you know, the man had passed a week prior. And so I want to say rest in peace to Mark, because like if it wasn't for him, you know, the LS game wouldn't be where it is, because he was the first one to start putting LSs in these old school cars. And he's definitely missed. He's definitely a mentor. And Mark, you know, smooth sailing, brother. All right, what's your next build, brother? That goes back to that top 5 list. So I like the 69 Camaro, I like the Chevelles, you know, I like Mustangs, I like 6970 Mustangs, I said. One of the cars that is definitely on my list, one of the next builds I do is going to be a cruiser. I like the bigger GM fleet, bigger than a Chevelle. I think what I'm going to do is, I always liked that 69 Riviera. I think that will be one of my next builds, to make a cruiser that handles well. And of course, I'm going to slap an LS in that thing. Contemplating if I'm going to put a 6-speed, because I never saw one with a 6-speed. That would be a nice build, be something totally different. But 69 Riviera is definitely up there as far as one of the top cars. 69, I even like the 67, you know, like before they changed the body style. So it's either one of those cars. So that's definitely on the list of cars to build. And I just like that car. That car's a pretty car. It's an underrated car, and it goes right under the wire. No one even thinks about that car. But a 67, 69 Riviera, those are some nice cars. Now I know those side mirrors, those door mirrors are not stock. What type of mirrors are those? I want to know. The side mirrors on my Chevelle are from 1994. I'm gonna say Buick LeSabre. That's exactly what it's from. I had to trim them and graft them in so they look like they belong. Yeah, I was going to go with the chrome look, but then when you have an old school car like that has a chrome mirror, 69 Camaro, these old school cars like this, if you want to make them classy looking, yeah, you stick those mirrors back on it and they look good. But I wanted something a little bit more sportier. So again, if I paint the car, whatever color I paint the car, I feel these mirrors look really good and they'll take the color of the car. And so these are 94, 95 Buick LeSabre, what's it called, door mirrors. Maybe you can tell me, Terry, what's up with the price of cars? Why are the price of muscle cars going so crazy today? Back in the day, before this whole internet thing, the only way you can get yourself a car is through the newspaper, or in this tri-state area where I'm at, there was something called the One Ad Press. That's where it was nothing but cars and like in the back lawnmower equipment and stuff like that. But that's where you could get your car, and you were limited to the tri-state area. All right, so you would be able to get like a 69 Camaro Z28, real Z28, for, I remember I saw a 70 split bumper Camaro RSSS, bad, you know, like they were going for, it was going for like $3,500. But then with the internet, now you have that, you know, like, okay, I'll be willing to pay $3,500 for that car. But then you get some guy in Texas, you know what? I'll give you $6,000 for that car. Get a guy in Milwaukee. You know what? I'll give you $9,000 for that car. You know what? You get a guy in Cleveland, I'll give you $12,000 for that car. And that's why it started going up. And then you get Barrett Jackson, you start seeing these Janko Camaros going for like $250,000. And then you get some guy who was like, you know what? I got a Camaro in the shed that I haven't drove for 20 years. And, you know, like, yeah, it's not a 69, it's a 74, and I don't know, it's a 6-cylinder, but, you know, like, I should be able to get at least, maybe, I don't know, $90,000 for it. You gotta be realistic with it. What's your time worth, you know? Like, and everyone's asking me, how much do I sell my cars for? My cars aren't for sale because I love them. And they're like, well, you never get your time back for it. Your time back, my time back, as far as putting hours into this car, my time back is when I drive down the street and people are hanging out the window giving thumbs up. My time back is when I go to, like, I don't know, an ice cream parlor or something like that, and little kids come up to me talking about, Ma, look, it's a race car, and I'm parked right next to a Ferrari, and I'm paying attention to them. That's my time. That's when it's payback, you know? Because, you know, a lot of people saying, well, what's your time worth? I mean, what is your time worth if you're sitting on the couch eating Fritos instead of working in the garage? What's your time worth? I don't know. Now, if I was building the car to flip, yeah, the clock starts and you start adding up your time, what it's worth. But I'm building these things for fun, and most people are, so I say, you know, be reasonable with the price of your car and be reasonable with what you ask for it. I mean, sure, you can ask whatever it is because, like, it's your car, but, you know, for these people that just ask outrageous prices for their cars. And finally, what does that looking at the clock on the wall, or should I say ceiling, mean? What is that all about? Tell me. Okay. That's probably the most asked question. In the corner, I have one of those clocks that flash the time. You can direct it wherever you want. Okay. So I was in the middle of shooting a video, and I don't know which video it is, but if you look at some of my videos, you'll be able to pick it out, because I must have moved the clock when I was signing off or something like that. And the clock usually shines on the wall. And so I was signing off, looking at the clock on the wall, and you could see me like, where's the clock? And I noticed that it's in the corner on the ceiling, and that's when I said up, or should I say ceiling. That's where that comes from. And when I was editing it, I was like, well, I kind of like it. You know, it's like something that's totally different, and people are gonna probably ask, what does it mean? And you did. So that's what that comes from. All right, listen. Everyone, please, we're going to have a beautiful 2018. I want you to have a happy and safe 2018. And I want to say thank you, and I appreciate all the attention and the love and everything. And stay tuned for the Trailblazer Project. I'm getting ready to start up a Facebook group. I definitely want every one of you guys to join it. I'll keep you posted when it happens. And I just want to say thank you again from the bottom of my heart, because if it wasn't for you guys, I couldn't do what I do, and I really appreciate it. But looking at the clock on the wall, or should I say ceiling? Where is that clock? This is where there it is, over there in the corner. It moves. All right. I want to say happy and healthy 2018. You know, to everyone, get in your garage, get your builds going. Beautiful. All right. And I will catch you guys real soon. Take care.